Hello and welcome back to my channel, and today it is Champions League return. Yes, the Champions League is back, and some of the games obviously were played yesterday. But before I go into the Champions League, let me do more of like a results rundown of the games that were played over the weekend for the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, Ligue 1 and Bundesliga. Now, some games, obviously in the Premier League, which I would start with, Manchester United play a 3-0 win against Southampton, who have also not picked up any win this season. And I remember in my last video, I said I did expect Manchester United to win that game, and they did. And it was a 3-0 win away from home. It was a good one for Manchester United. And then some other results in the Premier League season: Brighton play out a goalless draw against Ipswich. I think that was quite disappointing because Brighton have started well, since the league started, and for them to get a goalless draw against Ipswich, it was quite disappointing. Crystal Palace played out a 2-2 draw against Leicester City. Fulham played out a 1-1 draw against West Ham. It's another derby, but it was quite interesting to see how the game turned out. Liverpool disappointedly lost their game against Nottingham Forest. Now, Nottingham Forest has been a surprising team for me, and this is because they started the season so well. I think they beat Manchester United. They've had 2 wins, and a draw from the last 4 games, beating Manchester United and beating Liverpool at home in Anfield. That was a shocker for me. I think they've started the season so well. Well, I just hope it's not going to be one of those teams who start very well and then before the end of the season they literally die out and they are struggling to stay in the league. I just hope that's not the case. But now that they've started well, let's just give them the praise and the kudos that they deserve. It was a good one. What's his name? Hudson getting the goal for. It was a very beautiful strike, getting the goal for Nottingham Forest in that one. Then Manchester City went down from 1-0 to eventually winning 2-1. Erling Haaland scoring another 2 goals in that game. That guy stresses me out because I really don't know how they are going to stop him. I remember when he came into the Premier League, a lot of people were questioning, oh, the first season he got over 40 goals in all competition. Can he do it repeatedly? He has done that. Like, he's literally putting in the work and he's getting the results. Most people thought he wasn't going to obviously even start this weekend, but he did because I think the news was he lost a close family friend who was also close to him, but he showed up and he showed out. That is what you get when you have an amazing striker in your team. And then Aston Villa played out a 3-2 win over Everton. Now, it's disappointing how I don't even know what is happening with Everton. They were 2-0 up in the first half. How they lost it and lost 3-2, I don't know. I don't understand. Their defense is that bad. I don't want to go deep into that, but it was 2-0 in the first half. They eventually lost 3-2 to Aston Villa. Joan Duran scoring an amazing strike from outside the box, literally half of the field, and getting that third goal. It was amazing. And then Chelsea had to struggle and struggle to get all 3 points, but they got 3 points, and that's what's important. Substitute Christopher Nkunku coming off the bench, scoring the goal, and Sancho obviously getting the assist, his debut game for Chelsea, getting the assist, and then helping Nkunku to get his first goal, I think, of his second goal of the season, I think. But it was a beautiful one because they both got substituted in, and that is what you would expect from teams where they have a lot of players on the bench. You come in and you show what you're worth, and that was exactly what Christopher Nkunku and Sancho did. And even before that, Sanchez had saved a penalty. Of course, he cost the penalty. It was yellow carded, and then he went out to save it, which kept Chelsea in the game. And what happened? They scored the goal in the 86th minute and went away with 3 points. That is what you expect from Chelsea, but the inconsistency with that team just makes it difficult for you to know what to expect from them. But those are the games on Saturday. And on Sunday, it was Tottenham, who they were literally a bull without biting, and Arsenal were defensively resolute. They were amazing. You know, you could tell that the absence of Martin Odegaard and Declan Rice in that midfield told a lot in that team. But you know what? The other players came up and they said, yes, even if we don't get all 3 points, we're going to get a point and make sure that we don't lose this game. And they eventually won the game. It was an amazing one for Arsenal. And then Newcastle definitely defeated Wolves 2-1. And that's for the Premier League. And in La Liga, Real Betis defeated Leganes 2-0 on Friday. And on Saturday, it was Mallorca losing at home to Villarreal 2-1. Espanyol defeating Deportivo Alaves 3-2. Sevilla, lucky winners 1-0 against Getafe. Real Sociedad lost to Real Madrid 2-0. Of course, it was Endrick and Mbappe. They are both summer signings for Real Madrid, and they both got the goals for the team. I think a lot of people are still in doubt of what Mbappe can do, but I think he's going to come through, scoring a lot of goals. He hasn't even done badly, since the season started. So people should just keep an eye out for him. And then on Sunday, it was a 3-1 win for Celta Vigo against Real Valladolid. Girona lost 4-1 to Barcelona. Barcelona is on a rise right now, right? Lamine Yamal scored 2 goals in that one. For Barcelona, is 5 wins out of 5. They're on top of the table. It's amazing for Barcelona right now. I think Hansi Flick is not a bad manager. Even when he was at Bayern Munich, he wasn't a bad manager. And so these guys are young, and he's doing what you would expect, for him to do: manage them properly, help to improve them, help to, improve on 1 or 2 things that they probably might be lacking. So it's an interesting one to see how they keep, faring over the weekend. But other results saw Las Palmas lose 3-2 to Athletic Club. Atletico Madrid beating Valencia, and it was their summer signing Gallagher and Julian Alvarez getting a goal also in that one. It's good for them. It's going good for Atletico Madrid. And then on Monday, it was Rayo Vallecano beating Osasuna 3-1. And yesterday, Mallorca beating Real Sociedad 1-0. And now that's the La Liga match day 5. And then in Serie A match day 4, the games obviously started on Saturday. Como playing out a 2-2 draw against Bologna. Empoli also playing out a goalless draw against Juventus. AC Milan beating Venezia 4-0. Now, unfortunately, I think they lost some of a few players also to injury, but they were able to get the result. Sunday, Girona played out a 1-1 draw against Roma. Now, Roma has unfortunately sacked their coach. It was AC Milan who sacked their coach after losing yesterday to Liverpool 3-1 in the Champions League. But let me not even go deep into that yet. Now, Atalanta beat Fiorentina 3-2. Our guy, the African Player of the Year nominee, Ademola Lookman, scored 2 goals in that one. Torino played out a goalless draw against Lecce. Cagliari lost to Napoli 4-0. Lukaku had a brace in that one, and I think 1 or 2 assists also. His life is good for him in Italy. I think him and Antonio Conte just gels, and I'm not surprised anyway. Monza played out a 1-1 draw against Inter. That was a shocker for me. And then on Monday, it was Parma who lost 2-0 to Udinese. A Nigerian goalkeeper Maduka also pulled off I think a penalty save in that one. He's doing good so far. They came down from a 2-0 loss to, from 2 goals down to winning 3-2. It was a good one for Udinese. And then Lazio beating Hellas Verona 2-1. And that's for Serie A. And then we will move over to Bundesliga match day 3. Borussia Dortmund beating Heidenheim 4-2. We have Borussia Mönchengladbach losing to Stuttgart 3-1. I think Stuttgart is a very interesting team. They are quite stubborn, but then again, I think it comes from the fact that they are bringing the form up from last season. I think they finished 4th on the league table, and so it's been quite interesting to see how they carried that on. But unfortunately, they lost their game to Real Madrid in the Champions League yesterday. But before we go to that again, the other result in Bundesliga, Freiburg beating Bochum 2-1, FNM losing to Bayern Leverkusen 4-1. A boy again, like our Nigerian players are showing skills and power. Their leagues. It's a good one for us, I think. Boniface scoring 2 goals in that one, and I think 1 assist. It's amazing. RB Leipzig playing a 0-0 draw against Union Berlin. Wolfsburg losing to Eintracht Frankfurt 2-1. Bayern Munich dealing with Austin Kiel 6-1. Hurricane scores 4 goals in that one. Amazing. And then on Sunday is Mainz losing 2-1 to Werder Bremen, and Augsburg playing 3-1 win against St. Pauli. And then the last league is League One. League On, the matches started on Friday. Of course, Saint Etienne beating Lille 1-0. That was a disappointment. On Saturday, Marseille beating Nice 2-0. Orient losing 3-0 to Monaco. PSG obviously beating Brest 3-1. Not a surprise there. They are currently top of the table. Rennes beating Montpellier 3-0. Nantes losing 2-1 to Reims. Strasbourg playing out a 1-1 draw against Angers, and Toulouse playing a 2-0 win against La Verre. Lens also playing out a goalless draw against Lyon. Now, those are some of the interesting games that played over the weekend. Now to the main topic of the day. The Champions League is back. I am excited. The Champions League just always brings on the fun, the thrills, and all the action when it starts off. Now, it did start off yesterday, and some of the games that played out is AC Milan against Liverpool. Now, this was a repeat of 2019 final, and unfortunately, Liverpool lost that. But this time around, 2009 final, but this time around, Liverpool did the job. Mohamed Salah was amazing for AC Milan, beating AC Milan in San Siro. Wow. I think that was probably one of the reasons why Daniel De Rossi was sacked. Yeah, it's quite disappointing to see how AC Milan has started this season. They've not started so well in the league anyway, so I'm not surprised with that. The earlier, the better. They get a new coach and probably they start, all over again. But I do think they should have given him time. They did very well last season. It's just a bit in form. I think not even for the coach, but even some of the players themselves, they've not turned up as you would expect. So, but obviously the coach will always take the fall for it. So he is gone now. Would look out for what the new coach is going to be. But the other result in other games is Juventus beating PSV Eindhoven 3-1. Young Boys losing to Aston Villa, who after 41 years returned to the Champions League, and they started with a bang, right? They started with a bang. They carried on the result from the weekend into this game. I think they were all over the place. They were amazing going forward. Ollie Watkins, Might Gain, everyone was on fire for Aston Villa yesterday, and they actually even had some goals ruled off for offside, for fouls, and all that. And Duran almost got himself on the score sheet again, but unfortunately couldn't get the goal because of an handball prior to the goal. But it's amazing to see that they are starting off well and playing against young boys who I think they are a Champions League regular, and beating them like that, beating them out of the park. It was amazing. Unai Emery, he just understands what to do. I think he has done so well with that Aston Villa team, honestly. Finishing fourth last season and then carrying that into this new season and in the Champions League. I still want to see how it's going to turn out for them, because I feel they're going to be playing a lot of games. Probably injury will affect them here and there, but let's see how that goes. And then Bayern Munich beat Dynamo Zagreb 9-2. I don't even understand. Are they vexing? What is happening? Calm down. They beat somebody, Austin Kale, 6-2 over the weekend. Now it is 9-2. What happened? Kilo Shele. what's going on. But anyways, as long as they're getting the goals, Harry Kane again scores, I think, a hat-trick in this one. So it's amazing. Real Madrid had to struggle to eventually get the win. I think in the first half it was 1-1, and then the second half, Mbappe and Hendrick scoring the last minute goal. It was amazing. It was a 2-1 with the defending champions anyway. So the expectation is high on them. Yes, it is, because they're 16th time Champions League winner. I don't know what we have to do to collect this cup from these people. But at the moment, they are defending it, and they're defending it well. And then Sporting beat Lille 2-0. And then some of the games we have today, which I am more excited about, is Bologna, who also finished, I think, second or third last season from the Bundesliga, are playing Shakhtar Donetsk. I think that's going to be an interesting one. We have Sparta Praha against RB Salzburg. We also have Girona, who also did so well in La Liga last season, playing against PSG, who are champions of France. Club Brugge, who are playing Borussia Dortmund. Celtic against Slovan Bratislava. And then Man City, who are Premier League champions, against Inter. Now that is also going to be another a repeat of last season's final. No, 2 years before, because that was when Manchester City won the Champions League for the first time. And yes, they had to beat Inter Milan to win the game. I think it was 1-0 win over Inter Milan. So this time around is going to be interesting. Man City is playing at home. I want to see how Inter Milan will handle that. They played a draw in their game at the weekend. I'm talking of Inter now. And Man City won their game 2-1. And, some of the players are complaining of how stressful the number of games, are getting. I understand that Man City is going to have to play 70 games this weekend, same as Chelsea. And yes, a lot of people say, oh, they're not playing in the same competition, but they're playing the same number of games anyways. So the players who think they want to strike and protest, yeah, they should go ahead and strike and protest. That's their problem. But you're going to be getting the money, aren't you? You are. So you just have to get the job done. And I think, yes, I understand that it's a bit stressful for the players to have to play 70 games a season, a year. It's a lot. And this is where a lot of questions will come for UEFA, FIFA, as to why there are so many games, because you have to then consider the Nations League, the World Cup qualifiers, the AFCON qualifiers, and all those games. It's a lot, and I really do get it from the point of the players that it's a lot of games. And you see a lot of players actually having injuries. It's ridiculous. I think about yesterday, Barcelona announced that Fermin Lopez is also injured and will be out for 3 weeks, after they had actually announced that Dani Olmo was also injured and will be out for 4 weeks. It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous, because I get that it's a lot of games and the injuries are not what they expect at this time. But, well, it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyways, those are the games that will be playing out for today. And then, of course, I'll come to you guys tomorrow for the result and the games that will be played tomorrow. Now, the interesting thing about the Champions League now is there are no group games anymore. That is now in a league format, and the first top 9 are obviously going to qualify automatically for the round of 16, while the rest from number 10 to 26 will play the playoff, to qualify for the last round of 8. I think, yes. So it's going to be interesting to see where some of these big teams end up at the end of the first 8 games. I think 8, or some of them will probably play 10 if they finish from outside of the first 9. But I want to believe that the likes of Real Madrid, Man City, probably will finish in the first 9, and would then have to wait to see who they'll play in the round of 16. But that's what the Champions League is now, and they have to accept it. They don't have a choice. That is what it is going to be from now going forward. Anyways, I think that's much we're going to be talking about today. As I said, I'll come back to you guys tomorrow with the results of today's Champions League games, and then the games for tomorrow. Now, as I said, with the new way the Champions League goes now, it now has to be played Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. The Europa League is going to be played Thursdays, and yeah, just Thursdays, and the Europa League also, Europa Conference League also on Thursday. It's a lot of changes. I'm sure over the course of how the games are going to be played, we're going to have more understanding of it. Anyways, I think that's the much I'm going to be taking for today. And until I come your way again tomorrow, it's bye from me and enjoy the games.